Who is still together after 90-Day Fiancé Season 11? 0-Day Fiancé showcases several couples as they navigate transitioning from a long-distance relationship to spending time in person. The catch is, these couples only have 90 days to figure out if they want to get married or end the relationship. This premise definitely lends itself to a lot of drama, which is a key element in making any reality television show work. Shekinah and Sarper Güven are still together despite their difficulty connecting to her family. For those who have kept up with Sarper's journey with Shekinah in Season 11, it might be shocking to discover they're still together. Sarper first met Shekinah's daughter before meeting the rest of her family. However, Sarper was very nervous about meeting her extended family. He didn't exactly start things on the right foot. Shekinah described Sarper's previous meeting with her sister Alliya and said her family had a good reason to be skeptical of him. I do think that my sisters hold a grudge against Sarper for the way that he treated Alliya the first time that they met, she told viewers in a confessional. We're all very opinionated and we all want the best for each other, and if we don't think that the other is getting the best, then it makes us upset, so I feel like this is intense and there's a lot riding on this meeting. Shekinah said that her sisters are very protective of her, including Ziona and Mariah. Alliya told viewers, I feel like the amount of time that I had with Shekinah and Sarper, I didn't really get to see the dynamic and the connection between them. So it'll be nice to see if anything's different. Shekinah said that she knew her sisters weren't happy with Sarper, but seemed optimistic things would turn around. I do think that my sisters hold a grudge against Sarper for the way that he treated Alliya the first time that they met, Shekinah said, adding that Sarper had to get it right if he wanted to win over her daughter. Before the visit, Alliya told Sarper that she wanted him to show genuine growth on the big day. When the visit arrived, Shekinah's sisters asked Sarper about trust and were curious about Shekinah's possible concerns about him possibly cheating on her. It takes a level of trust, and that's what relationships are about, Shekinah told her sisters. I mean, if I had no trust in Sarper, what would be the point of me even being with him? Shekinah dismissed their concerns, and her sisters felt that she was being naive. It bothers me that she's being so naive about that kind of stuff, Ziona said. I don't like that mindset. It also didn't help when Sarper asked Shekinah's sisters if they also had geisha vibes. This was a phrase he used to describe the act of taking care of the household. She does everything, he said. She cooks, washes, everything. But this was clearly a poor choice of words on his part. Sarper just made things worse when he said he missed the old Shekinah, since he felt she was more obedient. He's just saying that I serve him and he doesn't have to ask for it, and he loves that, and that's like geisha vibes, Shekinah said, trying to clarify what Sarper meant. He just really rubs you the wrong way. He can't help himself. Even hearing him talk about how she's like a geisha. I feel the tension right now, he said. Everything is happening so quick, and you know when you miss the last exit before the bridge and you're on the bridge and you cannot go back? I feel that. Yet, despite the tension, the couple are still together. Shawn and Aaliyah de Batista are still together even though her tardiness ruined the wedding. Shawn and Aaliyah have dealt with their share of issues in Season 11 as well. Aaliyah's tardiness became an issue early on when she was 2 hours late to their engagement party. When asked why she was so late, Aaliyah didn't seem to understand what the big deal was and simply said that she didn't want to rush. At the start of their wedding day, Shawn's mother, Jean, injured her ankle and hip after falling. Shawn was worried about his mother, but she insisted on waiting until after the wedding to go to the hospital. She said that she didn't want to ruin his special day. This series of events made Aaliyah's lateness to their actual wedding even more insulting, especially after Jean was so kind to her. 5:00 p.m. was listed as the planned start time of the ceremony. The hot weather made conditions extremely uncomfortable for the guests. What made matters worse is the fact that Aaliyah didn't even start getting dressed until 30 minutes after the ceremony was supposed to start. She finally showed up to the event at 6:50 p.m. Just like the engagement party, Aaliyah never seemed concerned about her lateness. This lack of concern was shown not just in the footage of Aaliyah getting ready, but when Shawn confronted her before the ceremony. While the groom is advised not to see the bride before the wedding, Shawn was so upset at Aaliyah that he decided to speak to her anyway. She seemed really caught off guard by what he said, not understanding how disrespectful her actions were. I don't know if culturally that people in Brazil show up whenever they want to a wedding, Shawn told viewers, but when I first put my eyes on her and see her at the top of the stairs, I am so mad at them and so angry. Shawn then ordered the officiant to rush through the ceremony and just get through whatever you legally have to do. At the dinner afterward, Shawn made a toast sitting down rather than standing up. He also made a flippant comment to Aaliyah, saying, "Aaliyah, thanks for coming too, finally, when you got around to it." The comment, along with how rushed the ceremony was, made Aaliyah very upset. While Shawn's emotions were understandable, it's difficult to understand why he would go along with it. After seeing how careless Aaliyah was in her treatment of the engagement party and wedding ceremony, there was a chance to examine if this was truly what they wanted. Yet, to many people's surprise, the two are still together. Stevie Nicole and Motti Al-Saudi are still together despite major cultural differences. Stevie and Motti's issues have been very prominent throughout season 11, particularly their cultural differences. In one memorable episode, Stevie's friend Claire decided to help them find a wedding venue. As the two toured various locations, Claire recalled a time when Stevie painted her in the nude. Motti, who is from Iran, had been aware that women would send topless photos of themselves to Stevie so she could paint them. However, painting girls naked in person was one thing he said Stevie didn't mention to him. "She's giving me bisexual vibes again," Motti told viewers. "Women being together is totally wrong in my culture. And I'm not okay with it." As they made their way out of the venue, Stevie attempted to ease the situation. Motti told her that he was upset because it seemed like she kept this from him on purpose. "Right now, I'm just thinking that 1, she has kept a secret, she can do it again and she will do it again. And 2 is I want her to be honest because being bisexual is not okay in my culture," Motti said in a confessional. "And it's not only about my culture, it's about my brain also. I'm really worried about what if after our marriage she says something like, 'I want something else. I want something you cannot give me.'" Motti told Stevie about the issues he had and asked her if she had an attraction to women. She told him that she is not attracted to women. "I want to know before my wedding, before our wedding, that what type of person I'm getting married to," Motti said. "If we don't come to a conclusion or if I just keep getting the vague answer as the previous times, I think we need to postpone the wedding." After all of those issues, the couple is still together. "This absolutely crushed me." 90-Day Fiancé star consoles crying family member amid baby's health issue. 90-Day Fiancé star David Toborowski lent his heartbroken family member a shoulder to cry on in his latest emotional update about baby Minthira with Annie Sowan. David and Annie had been living child-free for almost a decade when they decided to have a kid. Annie underwent IVF, and David got his sperm surgically removed due to his vasectomy, which led them to announce Annie's pregnancy in July. David and Annie flew to Thailand to welcome their child. As per Annie's Instagram post, Minthira's ill health has also taken a toll on her family's well-being. Annie posted a video showing her mother crying at the hospital after Minthira was taken away to the treatment room. Minthira has not been eating, and her cough and fever have been persistent. While Annie's mom was going out to fetch dinner with David, they heard the baby crying in the treatment room. As soon as she heard Minthira crying, and that is what happened, Annie added in her caption. In the comments section, David wrote that watching Annie's mom cry absolutely crushed him. He added that it wasn't every day that one gets to comfort their mother-in-law, who is 9 years younger than them. David's fans rushed to provide him with comforting words amid the difficult times. What Annie's mother's painful cries mean amid Minthira's hospitalization. David Toborowski tries to stay hopeful amid pain. David and Annie's daughter was hospitalized in Pattaya for respiratory syncytial virus, also known as RSV, over the weekend, and, as per the 90-Day Fiancé star, Minthira was supposed to be kept under observation for the next few days. David seemed confident about Minthira's quick recovery since Annie had taken the vaccination for the condition during her pregnancy. The virus causes infections of the lungs and respiratory tract. The doctors informed David that Minthira's condition could worsen before she starts feeling better. Over the weekend, David posted a teary-eyed video revealing Minthira was not eating and her cough and fever were back. She was taken for treatment as the couple stayed hopeful and asked fans for prayers. Annie's mother became emotional after hearing baby Minthira cry during treatment. Despite his own voice shaking, David stepped up to comfort her. As someone a decade older, he showed strength and calm in the moment, helping ease her worry and encouraging Annie to stay hopeful during their daughter's difficult health battle. Our take on David having to stay strong for his family amid hospitalization. David Toborowski stays strong during baby Minthira's health scare. David showed deep emotional strength during his daughter Minthira's RSV hospitalization. When Annie's mother broke down after hearing the baby cry, David stayed composed. He comforted her despite his own fears. His steady presence helped the family cope with a tough moment and gave Annie the support she needed to stay calm. Being older than Annie and her mother, David naturally took on the role of emotional anchor. His actions reflected the responsibility he feels for his family's well-being. Even while sharing heartbreaking news with fans, the 90-Day Fiancé star has remained hopeful. David's quiet strength helped guide his loved ones through a time of fear and uncertainty. 90-Day Fiancé's Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven reveal marriage problems. By J. Kayla Crawford. This relationship has been a long time coming. Sarper Güven and Shekinah Garner made their TV debut during Season 5 of 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way. After falling in love on a trip to Turkey, Shekinah decided to leave Los Angeles to join him in his country. This big step in their romance went just as well as anyone would expect. After all, they'd only known each other for a few months and now they were living together. The biggest hiccup during the season was Sarper's off-putting demand for them to start having children right away. Nevertheless, the couple shockingly returned for 90-Day Fiancé Season 11. They got married and confirmed in the tell-all that they are still together. Yet, the two just made it clear that their marriage is already on thin ice. 90-Day Fiancé stars Shekinah and Sarper got honest about marriage. Both Sarper and Shekinah were recent guests on The Sarah Fraser Show. During the segment, Sarper got real on how their relationship is not picture perfect. "We are still trying our best. We have problems, a lot of ups and downs. But we love each other. I hope she loves me," he shared in the June 25th episode. Shekinah also chimed in and gave some added context behind their big relationship step. She also explained why their on-camera wedding weirdly took place on a bed. "He had been married before and we just thought we could, live forever, happy together without having that commitment. But, with the K-1 visa of course we had to. So, it was something that scared both of us and we're most comfortable in bed. It's the least scary place for us. We thought, why don't we make this less scary and do it in bed?" 90-Day Fiancé, Shekinah and Sarper's marriage is already falling apart. Exclusive clip. In the emotional moment, Shekinah and Sarper admit they are already struggling in their marriage. Shekinah speaks of the wedding, saying, "It was perfect, and I loved how intimate it was. There was no one else there, and it was just really special." Starting to cry, she continues, "But now I feel like I'm going to get emotional. Just everything changed after we got married, and that was my biggest fear and it just, came true." Sarper agrees, saying, "Mine, too." She says it has been hard with Sarper's moving. Shekinah explains, "Sarper changed, our dynamic changed, because now we're in the US and he moved into my place, which I know is hard because it does feel like it's my place, but Sarper went through a really bad depression and it brought up a lot of anger from him at me." Sarper says his depression comes from feeling like he's not in control. He confesses, "I am always the control freak, so I have to control things, and when I don't control things, I feel depressed. If you ask me, I don't like the marriage." When moderator Sean Robinson asks, "You don't like the marriage?" Sarper looks down and replies, "No Extra recently caught up with Shekinah and Sarper to talk about their marriage." Shekinah opened up about how much they've been through together already and feeling like they can get through anything. She admitted, "We have definitely continued to face challenges, just new ones, so we overcame the obstacles of long distance, of going through the whole visa process, and now it's on to the new challenges and it hasn't been easy. We're just having to acclimate to living together, and him trying to live in a new country has been really difficult because there's just so many things that make him feel so out of his element." While Sarper acknowledged ups and downs during their 3-year relationship, he said, "We love other. At least that holds the relationship in an axis, but I hope the strength will be enough." After the show's 90th wedding, real couples from 90-Day Fiancé explain why love for the franchise endures. When 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way cast members Shekinah Garner and Sarper Güven got married in bed, the pair seemed to thrill and enrage their audience in equal measure. Some viewers offered up congratulations to the newlyweds in comments on social media, while others viewed the nuptials as a stunt meant to garner the pair more airtime. Welcome to the world of the 90-Day franchise, shows people love to watch and live to hate watch. Garner and Güven's wedding was the 90th of the franchise, which has multiple shows and millions of fans. The original show, 90-Day Fiancé, premiered on TLC in January, featuring stories about Americans who fall in love with people from other countries. The 90-day refers to the amount of time an individual with a K-1 fiancé visa has to marry their U.S. sponsor and start the process to become an American citizen. The franchise has grown to have multiple spin-off series, including 90-Day Fiancé, Before the 90 Days, 90-Day, The Single Life, 90-Day Fiancé, Love in Paradise, and The Last Resort. Like CNN, TLC is part of Warner Brothers. Discovery. Loren and Alexei Brovarnik joined the show after meeting and falling in love in Israel, where she had traveled as part of a birthright trip in. Viewers have followed their lives over the past 10 years as they settled in Florida and welcomed 3 children. It hasn't always been easy, something Loren learned after she underwent a surgical mommy makeover, which caused some tension with her husband and divided viewers. "You're always being judged," Loren Brovarnik told CNN. "You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, and you can't do it right no matter what." Public scrutiny hasn't dissuaded the couple from participating in several spin-offs, including 90-Day Fiancé, Pillow Talk, and Loren and Alexei, After the 90 Days. They will next be seen in a new season of 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After? "It's a brilliant concept and every story is different," Brovarnik said of the entire franchise. Alon Orstian, senior vice president for production and development for TLC, credits the appeal of 90-day shows to their mix of romance and drama. "It's boy meets girl meets boy, girl meets girl," he said. "People love to see the romantic journeys. People love the roller coaster relationships, and 90-Day Fiancé gives it this twist of this international component." He insists that the show is not scripted, as some on social media have suggested. Orstian said they aim to cast individuals who are open, being honest, giving full access, being ready to wear your heart on your sleeve, being ready to dig deep, and to be ready, willing, and able to sort of have your most intimate experiences be out there. That's not so easy. Not everyone can do that, and it's something that we have to be mindful of in the casting process. And sometimes even during productions people become more guarded, Orstian said. "It's hard to do these stories and to make a show like this if people aren't ready to sort of open up and give full access. That's really what makes the best cast members, people who are just ready to go there." Kenny Niedermeyer and Armando Rubio became famous for their appearance on 90-Day Fiancé, The Other Way, when Niedermeyer moved to Mexico, married Rubio, and become co-parent to Rubio's daughter, Hannah, 12. The couple even had a spin-off titled Kenny and Armando, Love is Love. The two men said they didn't quite know what to expect when they joined the franchise, but it's been a great experience. "I think our favorite part is that we were able to tell our story, and I think it helped a lot of people that are in our situation that might feel kind of left out or they feel like a lot of people don't support them." Niedermeyer said. He added that occasional negativity they received for sharing their lives was something that made them closer. "We felt so much support along the way," Niedermeyer said. "We weren't sure what to expect when we signed on to do 90-Day Fiancé, but we were pleasantly surprised and I think it really made a difference in our lives."